Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is pulling the plug on electricity exports to the United States. The province announcing they will not renew contracts that would send 500 megawatts of power south of the border. Instead, it's going to be redirected to other parts of Canada. Joining us with more this morning is Tricia Stadnik, Professor and Canada Research Chair at the Schulich School of Engineering at the University of Calgary. Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, why is Manitoba choosing not to renew these contracts? What's the reason they've given?
So that decision was actually made before the recent geopolitical tensions. That said, I think it sends a really strong message to the U.S. at this time, and it's pretty timely. The reason why this decision is being made is actually related to climate change and changing precipitation patterns, and the fact that Manitoba is looking at potentially not being able to meet their winter load capacities as early as 2029 with their current infrastructure. So it's an effort to redirect resources and make sure that we have enough domestically to meet our own needs before we start exporting to the U.S.
Just following up on that, Tricia, if it's for environmental reasons, they're still distributing the power. They're just not distributing it south of the border. My understanding is Premier Kinew saying that they're going to use them to light up the north, light up Western Canada, and build trade corridors.
Absolutely. So of the 500 megawatts that is being re-deferred or redirected under this current these two current contracts that are expiring, 50 megawatts will be sent north to communities in Nunavut along western shores of Hudson Bay, and another 450 will be available for domestic redeployment, however that looks. I think the intent is to strike agreements that not only meet Manitoba's domestic or internal needs, but that also allow the flexibility to be able to continue to export power and make profit on that.
In the province of Ontario, when Premier Doug Ford imposed tariffs on electricity exports to the U.S., that drew some strong reaction from Washington. So how are U.S. officials responding to this decision so far? And do you expect it to have some part of the conversation when Prime Minister Carney and President Trump meet within this week?
Yeah, that's a great question. I can't say whether or not it will be part of the conversation that's happening this week, but I do expect that the U.S. president and the U.S. as a whole will notice this for two reasons. Number one, it actually affects the executive order Unleashing American Energy, in the sense that that executive order was intended to lower costs and secure more energy for the U.S. And obviously, the cancellation of these two agreements is going against that order. So this is definitely going to flag some attention. The off-spin of that is particularly for people that were reliant on this 500 megawatts of generation in the U.S. Power rates, at least in the short term, will probably go up. And so this is one more thing that's adding to the additional costs for the American public.
Just a really quick question, Tricia. When we talk about 500 watts, what does that power? What will they lose by not having this contract renewed?
That's a great question. If you were anywhere else in the world, it would power quite a few homes, up to 250,000 homes. Here in Canada, because of our increased energy needs because of the cold weather and then hot summers, it's about estimated to be around 100,000 homes on average.
Still a lot of homes. In terms of dollars and cents, how much does Manitoba stand to lose or to gain by not renewing these contracts with the U.S.?
That's a really tough question to answer, because the idea is that they're not necessarily net losing. They would gain additional contracts with export to other provinces in Canada, and none of it. And this fits with some larger infrastructure strategies, not only from our federal government in terms of offsetting greenhouse gas emissions and finding more renewable sources of energy long term. So there's federal investments there that are happening, not only in the province of Manitoba, but in green energy in general. But there's also profit to be gained by helping Saskatchewan, neighboring Saskatchewan, reduce their reliance on coal fire. And right now, Saskatchewan is looking at having to increase their energy needs. It's looking at $1.4 to $1.7 billion to build the next coal-fired plant. So this would offset those costs, and I think Saskatchewan would be willing to pay to invest in an expanded hydropower intertie line.
Tricia Stadnik with the University of Calgary. We always appreciate the clarity that you bring to these topics. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.